Lloyd has shown plenty, but starting again unlikely for USA star at World Cup. Paris. There are questions that have been brewing for a while now, barring a teammate's injury or card suspension. Is there anything that Carly Lloyd could do to earn a spot in the US's first-choice starting lineup during? If the final word to Lloyd made those questions even more pertinent on Sunday in the ATH result gave the US 6 points from 2 games and clinched a berth in the knockout stage ahead of the group finale against nemesis Sweden on Thursday. The two-time World Player of the Year became the first woman ever to score in 6 straight World Cup games, and she now has 3 goals in this tournament, putting her in a tie for third in the Golden Boot race. Lloyd did a bit of to put an exclamation point on all of it. The 36-year-old Lloyd even celebrated with a super polite golf clap, an amusing nod to all the questions over whether the Americans had over-celebrated their garbage time goals in their first game of the tournament. Carly Lloyd, still a scorer of top-class goals. Lloyd could have scored even more goals, but she hit the crossbar with a header and sprayed a second-half penalty kick wide of the goal. When Lloyd was asked on Sunday if she had made even more of a case to Ellis for a starting role with the varsity, she nodded her head. I am trying, she said. I am having fun, whether that's coming off the bench or starting a game. I am just trying to make an impact, Lloyd continued. Unfortunately, later in the post-game interview, Lloyd turned the rhetorical screws on Ellis just a little bit harder. These last 3 or 4 years, I've reinvented my whole game, she said. I've become really well, then, in that case, over to you, Jill Ellis. At the post-game press conference, Lloyd's thoughts were relayed to Ellis, who offered her response. That's why she's playing, because she comes in and makes differences, Ellis said. I think the important thing for us as players are ready to do any role, Ellis continued, and the fact she's now scored 3 goals. Awesome. It might be helpful at this point to remember what happened in the 2015 Women's World Cup quarterfinals. U.S. players Megan Rapinoe and Lauren Holiday were suspended on yellow cards, and Ellis was forced to use Lloyd higher up the field against China. It worked like a charm. At this point, it's going to take a similar suspension or a U.S. injury to get Lloyd in the lineup if the final were tomorrow. Ellis approached it. Honestly, it's a line of thinking that makes sense, and it seems unlikely that Lloyd will be able to do anything during this tournament to break through that barrier unless there's an injury or a card suspension, and then all bets are off. Related slides show best photos of the 2019 Women's World Cup provided by Iman.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.